Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today, that's right, we're going to be going into space and getting ourselves a space station. Hopefully you guys are ready. Alright guys, so last episode we did manage to set up the wireless crafter and everything else. That's going to help us with building our our space station that we're going to be setting up here. So yeah, we're going to be getting that going real soon. But what the main thing I did was I just made the few items that I think we're going to need for today. I can't remember. I made two of these because I don't remember if I had to make two of them to make a copy. I don't remember if this machine, the space station assembler, actually spits it out or not. But if we place that down, I know that we can build our system here, and this thing should scan the platform for the blocks that we're about to create, and then it'll plant it on the space station ID, and it will pack this away into a package, and then we can put that into the satellite bay, and then make our rocket from there and send that into space. And then of course we need to make our own rocket to go into space as well. But we need to build somewhat of a early space station. Now we can build off of the space station once we get there. So what I like to do is build a room with some doors, and I think that, let me see, advanced rocketry has some doors. They do, yeah, they have the small airlock doors that we're going to need to make. So I think I'll set it up with at least one of the airlock doors and a lever. Two levers, actually. We'll do a lever on the front and back. And then we can build this out of any block. Doesn't matter. Any material. I know that the marble looks really good, but I'm trying to think, is there anything in particular that we could build this out of? Grid blocks look really good for the interior. I don't know. We can do, let's see. We can even build it out of wood if we wanted to, but that would kind of ruin. I actually like the way this raw metal looks. So that may be something. I'm just going to build the base. We can always change it later. But the base of this thing is going to be made out of this particular block. And you have to have this, I think, as tall as your actual base is. And we could even throw some glass on here. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. Putting some glass down. There we go. We have that done. Alright. Glass. The clear glass is some really nice stuff, so we're going to put that in here. And it's literally going to be just a chamber. Like a straight up a chamber. Well, I could expand it off the side. That's probably something I should honestly do. Because I am going to need somewhere for a door. And if I don't have any room, I won't be able to place the door down. So this should work. Let's do it this way. There we go. We'll make it a little bit wider. I'll do the same on the other side. Make it a little bit wider. Perfect. And we'll close this in on the side. That'll give us some room for a door. And honestly, we can put glass all on the roof. I don't care. It's gonna look good regardless of what we do once we get building later on. Okay, so I'll close this up. These sides will be closed. This whole back will be a glass window and a glass top. We'll have an airlock door with a lever. Okay, so let's go ahead and place the airlock door. Lever. Lever. Actually, doesn't the lever need to be on the other side? No. That should open from this side. I think that's where we need it to... Well, we need to be able to open it from the outside. So, there we go. So I'll leave that there, and we can open it from the outside. It is just a metal cube right now. I could chip off the sides. Yeah, that'll look a little bit nicer, because we have a little space pod going up into space. We don't need that much material, to be honest. We are just taking a capsule. And there we go. Okay. So yeah, taking the tops off the sides and everything. That looks rather good. I'm not going to lie, that's pretty simple. It's not going to get much simpler than that. I have to leave this side on here. I can chip off these. There we go. Awesome. Now we have a lovely looking pod satellite. Well, it's not a satellite. Space station. It's a start of a space station. Nonetheless, it's a start. So, I could even honestly take these blocks out and have it just glass. Actually looks kind of nice. Kind of. It'll get her done, that's for sure. Alright, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and put our space station ID chip in here. And we should be able to scan missing satellite bay. Sat bay. Oh, so we need a satellite bay in here. Then scan. It scanned it. And it says it's ready. So let's build it. And poof. It just disappeared. Well, it went right here. Okay, so yeah, we did get the space station ID chip. So we don't need this other one, which is good. But we ended up with a space station container and the space station ID chip 1, which you actually need to keep a hold of. We don't want to lose that space station ID chip. Okay, very important. Now, the next step is, honestly, to send this guy up to space. So we're going to need to make another simple rocket, just like we used for the other satellite. It takes 8 fuel containers, 4 thrusters, and a satellite bay. I'm pretty sure this goes into a satellite bay, just like normal. And that's all we're going to need. Alright, so now we should be all set to build this thing. Just like we've built all of our other ones. Ow, my goodness. Can those things just disappear? Please, can you just go? Actually, I want to use my sword. I really love this sword, by the way. Get wrecked. Straight up just lightning starlighted him. Alright, so yeah, we'll place these down. I went ahead and got the other rockets made up for what we'll have to build later. And then we'll go ahead and get this down. Put our satellite bay in. And then from there, we're going to put our space station container in here. Just like that. And launch it just like a satellite. That's honestly what we have to do. Let's make sure that we got that completed. Okay, so this was all completed. And everything. Okay, so we should be able to now link this after we check for it. So scan. It is ready to go. Build. Then it's ready for linking. Let's link the fuel. Let's link the shuttle. So now we can monitor the fuel and monitor everything else. And yeah, this thing's almost ready to be sent off into space. And then after that, we can figure out how to send ourselves up to space. How cool. And then we can actually build our space station from there. We're getting pretty close to being able to leave this planet and leave these planets to go into space. So we can adventure further from there. So, kind of excited. I'm kind of curious to see what these other planets look like. You know, this planet is really cool looking. So I'm kind of excited to see what the other planets are actually going to look like as well. I have noticed, this says no link, connect. I'm kind of curious why this says no link. Even though we did send these satellites into space. That says storing buffer. 14. Keeps saying no link. I don't know what that's meaning. Because I know that they're... you guys watch me send all these satellites up to space. So I'm kind of curious to why. I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and launch this. So we have our fuel. Everything's ready to go. Oh yeah. Look at our satellite go. So that should enter space orbit. And we should now have a space station up there once that hits the limit. I'm still kind of confused why these are not showing. I mean, this one has quite a bit. Still saying no link, as if there is no satellite. Which is kind of not a good thing. That should be distance. That should be 1. Yeah, these are not working. I don't know, something's funny going on. I don't know, maybe it's not detecting the fact that I have satellites anymore. Could be the fact. Okay, so after we got that, that should have opened up another tab for us. Now I can fly to the space station. My manned rockets need, a manned rocket needs a guidance computer and seat instead of a satellite bay. In the guidance computer, the space station ID chip has to be put in. So we need a guidance computer and a seat, and then the rest of the rocket can be built however we want it to be built, just to enable us to get there. So you don't have to build anything fancy, really just have to build a rocket to get there. Unlike the cool rocket that we built for Future Pack, which is kind of the point of that pack, is to build a really cool rocket. This one, it's more about functionality, just to get up to space. A little bit different. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. I'm going to use, the more engines you use, the faster you can get to space. So I'm just going to set up my base structure, which is all of these guys. I'm going to probably need more tanks than this. I don't remember. I think I leave this empty. No, I need that. And yeah, I normally have more tanks than this, I do believe. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get some more of my steel processed. I'm going to get our other machine made. I think it is a guidance computer, which is probably not going to be cheap. Let's look at guidance computer. It's going to require the tracking, which is networking chips, which are actually pretty easy to make. This is always a bug. Okay, so this shows that I can't actually make this, but I can. I have to actually open up my e-scanner. Let me show you real quick. I have to, every time I load the pack in, I have to do the e-scanner. Or go into my researcher and look at my research. It's seriously, that's the only thing, but we can definitely make that. And I also have a feeling that this is also causing issues related to loading the pack. I don't know. This is not good if I can't connect to the satellites that are there. But okay, I'm going to go ahead and get the guidance computer made. It doesn't look like it's going to be that difficult now that I look at it. Pretty simple here with the basic circuits and everything. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get all these stuff, get this stuff ready to go. And we're going to head our way to our space station. That it's going to be weird getting to it, and it's going to be a little bit dangerous because this is actually going to land right on top of the space station. Yeah, and our space station is not the biggest thing in the world, so we'll have to work around that and probably build down, but we'll figure it out once we get there. And I think we may even make a jetpack at this point. Well, we technically can't use a jetpack because, let me take a look here. The jetpack, oh, I guess we can make it. It requires tanks, and I bet it uses rocket fuel, or it may use this. I don't know. I've actually never used the I've never used the jetpack from this mod. We may not need it. We'll figure it out. But I'll be back in just a second. All right, so we should be just about ready. I went ahead and got the rocket just about made. It's almost completely. So I do need a few things here. Kind of build up here so I can get up. So what I need to do is take the guidance computer. I'm going to set it in here. Open the guidance computer. I'm going to add the station chip. Pretty easy. It just needs to be in here, and then you don't need glass or nothing. I just went ahead and added the glass just for looks. And then we can go ahead and add the seat. And then we can just close this thing up like that, just like so. And we should, once we get this thing built, be able to click on it to be able to get into it. So let's go ahead and scan this thing. Make sure it's scanned and actually going to work. Looks like it's good. Let's build it. All right, it's now built, and link it. Now this thing is going to require a bit more fuel, and we can monitor our fuel with this guy. We don't have to launch it from here because we're going to be able to launch it from within inside. So we're just going to have to monitor our fuel, make sure we have enough in there. The way this looks is I'm going to have enough fuel from what it showed to go to the station and be able to go back from the station, but I'm not too concerned about that. What I'm mainly concerned about is this is supposed to be as high as the rocket is, and it accepted it without that. So that's kind of confusing because this is supposed to be, maybe it doesn't count these blocks, but it should. So I don't know. And I thought you were able to set destination, disassemble. Maybe I can't actually get in. I thought I was able to shift right click to get in the guidance computer. Okay. Okay, maybe I'm gonna actually disassemble this. I know I'm gonna be wasting a lot of stuff, but let's go ahead and disassemble. What I'm assuming is probably this isn't tall enough. It needs to be a certain distance. In height. I'm gonna just remove you. Now let's test this again. Okay, that worked. I'll build it. Now can I get in? Okay, so I can. Press space to take off. Hold shift, I think, to dismount. Okay, good. Yeah, because this was not tall enough, even though it accepted it, it still didn't grab my seat, so it doesn't show that that's a thing. So I need to relink this. It may actually be linked. I don't know. No, it's not. Let's relink so we can get fuel going in there, and we can kind of watch this as the fuel increases. Now, I did decide what blocks I was going to bring, so I went ahead and brought the rest of the metal that I was going to use for the other ship. Also have a waystone, so we can go back and forth to our space station and not have to use rockets. So the less we have to use this, the better off we're going to be later on. Now we'll have to use this to get to other planets, but that's later. That's after we get a warp drive and everything, which this is going to talk a little bit about. So we have right here the warp controller, planet ID chip, which is unprogrammed, and the Exoria artifact. It says, now I'm about to evaluate the satellite data. I need a warp controller for that. The warp controller needs a planet ID chip, 100 of each data, and a warp artifact for every operation success. For one operation is not guaranteed. As a warp artifact, I have only the Exoria artifact for now. When I can build the warp core multi-block to fly to the discovered planets, I need lots of titanium, but I should be able to do that with dilithium as fuel for the journey. Okay, so I don't know. It says for the multi-block, I know I need a lot of titanium. I remember what the multi-block looked like. And then dilithium is the actual fuel. I remember using that before. Yeah, it requires 15 titanium blocks, which I think we can already make that. I think we have enough titanium as of right now to be able to make this. And the warp core is probably going to be pretty expensive. Blocks of gold, machine structure blocks. Yeah, the warp core is not going to be too difficult to make, I don't think. The fact is, the planet ID chip that's unprogrammed, and the fact that our satellites are not showing up. What's the deal? So that may be an issue, and I know that Cubus actually told me, he said he's going to be setting the Discovery to 100% in the newest update. Right now it's 50%. But he said these are so slow at generating data that he went ahead and upgraded it. But I don't know. I don't know why my satellites are not working, even though I know that they're there. So that could be a issue right now. Because it says planet, misty desert moon, satellite optical telescope. No link. Let me try doing this, actually. If I break this machine, that's the problem. If I break this, this has no data in it. And replace it. No link. I don't know. No idea. Anyways, this is ready to go. So let's go ahead and do the crazy. We have oxygen in our suit, and we should be able to travel back and forth. Let's go ahead and head to the misty moon. So, with what's about to happen, I'm going to go ahead and remove the HUD. We're going to hit space, and we're going to go into space. And I can even F5, so you guys can see this happen. So let's go. Let's count it off. We're going to count off starting at 9. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are launching. Look at us go. And we are heading into space. Into the unknown. It's kind of cool seeing the constellations in the background as we head into space. Look at everything disappear. Slowly, we're not going to be able to see that anymore. Things are going to change. It's going to get really dark. And we should eventually load into a new, technically, new dimension. Looks like it's slowly starting to happen. We can open our HUD and see that we're about to hit max altitude. And there we go. Load into a new dimension. And we're going to actually ascend from here. So press space to descend. Auto descent coming in soon, but we're going to go ahead and descend now. So this looks like Earth, but I don't exactly know. I think this is still the misty moon planet. Boy, we would be frying right now if that was actually us in there. But we should land on our... You can kind of see our little space station down there. Little bitty fella. We're going to land on top of it. I'm kind of concerned about hitting shift. Yeah. That could be... This could be dangerous. Okay, good thing we land on top. Okay, we land on top. I want to go down here. Gravity's a little bit lower. Understandable. Place blocks off to the side so I can at least just get down to the door. Okay. We've made it, guys. We've made it. And here we are. So yeah, I can't really close the door. I guess it removed my lever I had inside here. Kind of odd. But yeah, we have enough oxygen. It is slowly depreciating. But what we need to do, we have a rocket up here. We need to just keep building. And not even worry about this door for right now. Yeah, I know, you're gone. We're going to use you later. Because we need to airlock this area when we add oxygen and stuff like that. But yeah, this should be pretty easy to kind of expand off of. Be easier if we had like some kind of flight. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this number. We're going to make our room a little bit bigger as we expand. And make things look a little bit nicer. But it's still going to be, you know, somewhat of a Rocketry style space station looking thing. But I'm going to get to work on this and come back when I have some sort of thing going on. Alright, so I have a simple design for the space station that I went with. It just has a little rounded area so we can see out the front. Our warp drive, I believe, is going to be either here in the front, right where this is. It is a pretty big multi-block, so I may have to adjust some things. But I went ahead and put my wavestone here. I can remove that and move it anywhere I want later. But what I did was, I just kind of set this platform out here. I do have some blocks I guess I could technically remove. to make room for some other things. But yeah, this is kind of the general shape for right now. It literally has no other extending rooms off the side, which I will be building to provide room for other things. But basically, when I get off the rocket, I can just slide down here and open the hatch. There will be a pressure plate here instead of what is currently here. And I think I'll have another step here, and then this will be moved. Yeah, I'll go ahead and move this actually back one. It's no big deal. We'll just add to the room. Just like that. It's pretty easy to build here since you can kind of bounce around things. Yeah, there'll be a pressure plate here, so that way you can open and close the door as you walk through. That way you don't have to worry about your dying. But as you can see, I'm about to run out of oxygen, so that means it's time for me to head back to the main world and kind of figure out the situation that's going on with us not having, you know, any satellites going on, because we should have some satellites. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to head back home and see what's going on there. All right, so I'm back home, and I did notice, somebody did mention in the comments, you know, maybe the reason this wasn't working last episode was because I didn't have any tanks in my inventory. Well, yeah, now when I step on it, it fills it completely up. So, who would have thunk it? Yeah, I think I'm going to figure this out. If anything, you know, I could literally just make a card. There's commands that I could use to generate this data. So if I need to do that, I can. But I'm going to see if I can possibly get that fixed. I don't know. It's just a very minute thing. But if, you know, with it being a possible bug like I think it is with the loading of the dimensions, I've had some other issues. As you can see in my bar that I currently have right now, it shows I have no experience, but I do. So I don't even know if there's a good way to demonstrate my experience unless I get experience via like killing a mob. So yeah, as you can see, I just gained some experience and now my experience level come up. That's from going to different dimensions, and it kind of messes with your experience bar. That, along with the satellite terminal, I think that has something possibly to do with that as well. It just doesn't even know that this exists. And also, I don't have this area chunk loaded, so that could have been another issue with possibly the reason why it's not working, or stopped working in general. So yeah, I don't know. We have a few things to kind of cover and get to work properly. But if anything, at least I can now go to my space station, which is pretty cool. We kind of just spawned right here, and yeah, this is pretty awesome. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and as always, thanks for watching.
Let's go!